Welcome to the CISO Daily Update.
Data leak exposes 14,000 U.S. medical professionals. What we know so far. A data leak at Florida-based M&A Healthcare exposed sensitive information of over 14,000 U.S. medical professionals due to a system misconfiguration. The leaked database backup, dated June 2, 2024, included personal details such as names, addresses, encrypted social security numbers, and temporary platform passwords. With medical professionals being lucrative targets for cybercriminals, the exposed data raises concerns over potential identity theft, phishing, and other fraud. Although SSNs were encrypted, researchers identified a decryption key in an exposed configuration file. The misconfiguration has since been secured, though official disclosures are pending. Threat actors allegedly claiming leak of Capgemini data. Threat actors allegedly leaked sensitive data from major consulting and technology services firm Capgemini. The leak purportedly involves internal operations and client project information, but has yet to be confirmed by Capgemini. Capgemini is expected to investigate the claims and assess the impact. Clients and stakeholders should stay apprised of developments as the situation unfolds. DOJ distributes $18.5 million to Western Union fraud victims. The U.S. Department of Justice is distributing $18.5 million to around 3,000 international victims of fraud facilitated by Western Union. This marks the second distribution in the second phase of the Western Union remission, which aims to fully compensate victims. So far, over $420 million has been distributed to more than 175,000 victims. The fraud was acknowledged by Western Union in a 2017 agreement involving scams such as grandparent, lottery, and romance schemes. More distributions are expected as part of ongoing efforts to compensate victims. New PIXHELL attack exploits screen noise to exfiltrate data from air-gapped computers. The new PIXHELL side-channel attack exploits pixel noise from LCD screens to exfiltrate data from air-gapped computers. By manipulating pixel patterns, malware on compromised systems can generate acoustic signals through screen components like coils and capacitors. These signals don't require specialized audio hardware and can be captured and decoded by nearby devices. While visible to users, the attack can be disguised with low RGB values to make the screen appear nearly black. Mitigation strategies include acoustic jammers, monitoring audio signals, limiting physical access, and using external cameras to detect screen patterns. NoName ransomware gang deploying RansomHub malware in recent attacks. The NoName ransomware gang has been targeting small and medium-sized businesses globally for over 3 years. Recently, they shifted from their SRansom ransomware to deploying tools from RansomHub, potentially marking their evolution as a RansomHub affiliate. Using custom malware from the SpaceColon family, the gang gains access through brute force and exploits vulnerabilities like Eternal Blue and Zero Logon. Although their encryption schemes are complex and sometimes faulty, NoName continues to develop its tools, impersonating larger ransomware groups like Lockbit to build a more established reputation in the ransomware scene. Ivanti fixes maximum severity RCE bug in endpoint management software. Ivanti patched a critical remote code execution vulnerability, CVE 2024-29847, in its endpoint management software that could allow unauthenticated attackers to gain control of the core server. The flaw stems from untrusted data deserialization, which has been fixed in hot patches and a new service update. Although no known exploits have been reported yet, Ivanti also addressed several other high-severity issues in its EPM, workspace control, and cloud service appliance products. Ivanti credits increased internal scanning and faster disclosure processes for the rise in identified vulnerabilities. US CISA adds SonicWall, SonicOS, ImageMagick, and Linux kernel bugs to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. CISA added 3 significant vulnerabilities to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog: SonicWall, SonicOS, ImageMagick, and the Linux kernel. These vulnerabilities included the notorious ImageMagick flaw, ImageTragick CVE 2016-3714, a Linux kernel privilege escalation issue, CVE 2017-1-000253, and a critical SonicOS access control vulnerability, CVE 2024-40766. CISA mandated federal agencies to address these issues by September 30, 2024, urging private organizations to review their infrastructure for these vulnerabilities. Gallup poll bugs open door to election misinformation. Researchers discovered 2 XSS vulnerabilities on the Gallup polling website, raising concerns about potential exploitation, particularly as election season approaches. These flaws could have allowed attackers to manipulate polling data or gain unauthorized access to users' accounts. Gallup quickly patched the reflected and DOM-based XSS vulnerabilities, which had CVSS scores of 6.5 and 5.4, respectively. The vulnerabilities presented opportunities for attackers to skew public opinion or steal personal data, exacerbating the threat of election misinformation. Experts recommend stricter data encoding practices and content security policies to prevent future XSS attacks. SAP releases 16 new security notes on September 2024 patch day. SAP released 16 new and 3 updated security notes on September 2024 patch day, addressing various vulnerabilities in its enterprise software. Key updates include fixes for a critical authorization check issue in Business Objects CVE 2024-41730 with CVSS 9.8, a high-severity information disclosure flaw in Commerce Cloud CVE 2024-33003 with CVSS 7.4, and multiple medium-severity issues across NetWeaver, Commerce Cloud, and other SAP products. These updates cover vulnerabilities such as XSS, DLL hijacking, and missing authorization checks, impacting application availability, confidentiality, and integrity. No active exploits are reported, but users are urged to apply the patches promptly. Adobe patches critical code execution flaws in multiple products. Adobe released patches for 28 security vulnerabilities across multiple products, addressing critical code execution risks on Windows and Mac OS. Key updates include fixes for 2 critical memory corruption vulnerabilities in Acrobat and PDF Reader, CVE 2024-41869 and CVE 2024-45112, which could be exploited for arbitrary code execution. A major update for Adobe ColdFusion, CVE 2024-41874, also addresses a severe code execution flaw. Additional patches cover Adobe Photoshop, Media Encoder, Audition, After Effects, Premiere Pro, and Illustrator, focusing on code execution and memory leak issues. Microsoft September 2024 Patch Tuesday fixes 79 flaws, including 4 0 days. Microsoft September 2024 Patch Tuesday addressed 79 vulnerabilities, including 4 actively exploited 0 days. Critical flaws, such as the Windows Mark of the Web bypass, CVE 2024-38217, and Windows MS HTML spoofing vulnerability, CVE 2024-43461, pose significant security risks, particularly for ransomware and phishing attacks. Other high-severity issues include remote code execution vulnerabilities in Windows Update and Azure Cycle Cloud. Given the active exploitation of these flaws, Microsoft urges users and enterprises to prioritize patch management, user education, and rapid deployment of these updates to mitigate risks. Massive spike in crypto fraud. FBI reports over $5.6 billion losses in 2023. The FBI's 2023 cryptocurrency fraud report points out a huge rise in crypto-related frauds, resulting in over $5.6 billion in losses from over 69,000 complaints. While crypto-related fraud makes for only 10% of all financial crime reports, it accounts for roughly half of total financial losses. Investment fraud, particularly socially engineered scams, caused the most substantial damage, resulting in losses reaching $3.9 billion. Scammers frequently utilize social media, dating websites, and unsolicited messages to entice victims. The FBI encourages the public to report frauds to ic3.gov to assist prevent this increasing threat. Study finds excessive use of remote access tools in OT environments. A study by Clarity highlights significant security risks associated with the excessive use of remote access tools in operational technology environments. The analysis of over 50,000 remote access-enabled devices reveals that 55% of organizations use 4 or more such tools, with some relying on up to 15 to 16 tools. Many of these tools are non-enterprise grade, lacking essential security features like session recording, MFA, and regular updates. This not only increases the attack surface and complicates vulnerability management, but also leads to higher operational costs and inefficiencies in monitoring and response. The diverse and often outdated tools introduce security and operational challenges. 2024 U.S. election. CISA releases cyber and physical security guidelines for officials. CISA released new cybersecurity and physical security guidelines ahead of the 2024 U.S. elections to help protect election infrastructure. The checklists focus on mitigating threats like phishing, DDoS attacks, and ransomware, with recommendations for multi-factor authentication, website protection, and offline backups. The guidelines also address physical security at polling locations to prevent disruptions. These measures aim to strengthen the resilience of election offices against potential threats, ensuring a smooth and secure election process on November 5th.
Thanks for listening. Remember to subscribe to our newsletter at CISOheadlines.com. Until next time, stay curious.